everyone, and welcome to the Midnight Ride with Grayman Prepping. How you guys all doing out there? Let me get up here and say hello to everybody. And okay, so Walt Rogers was the first one in, then Mad Chick Acres, then Troop 1351, then Chef Tech, then Moon Over Miami, then Phelan Clan Wolf, then Diana 2. And then I realized, hey, I haven't put out any of the freebies that YouTube lets the channel have, so I fired those off. And so there goes a group of 5 and another group of 5. So Tammy Harder's in here. It's the Marshmallow Man, Skinner Farms, Shady Hill Homestead, and okay. And it says we got 12 people in the house. If we have anybody lurking is fine. Just please, hit the thumbs up if you can. Oh, and some people say, well, I can't log in. If you have a Gmail account, that's the exact same login to log on to YouTube, so you can make comments and give thumbs ups and do all the other fun stuff. And it's free. You're 2 of 12. That sounds like snake eyes to me. Yep, snake eyes. That's a 12-sided dice. That's a crit failure on your perception roll, or your skill roll, or your survival roll. All righty. Star Trek Borg. Alrighty, so let me get this other thing out of the way over here. We're done with it for tonight. And bring up the fun stuff. Patch. There we go. We got 10. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. I got to go back to my email. What's in there? Nope. Okay, I thought I saw another patch email coming in. Sometimes I get a late one here at night. So I just wanted to check that out really quick, make sure that wasn't what I thought I was seeing. Okay, so got 10 articles, several of which were sent to me. I'm sorry, we do not do those type of gender changes here. All righty, so first one is, all right, this news article one here is, again, right now, the mainstream media, or I should say the left-wing media, is throwing out all sorts of lies left and right, and I've been just trashing most of them. But I put this one here because it's where the staff starts at. Contra Costa nonprofit in need of support amid federal funding cuts. I look into it. They're lying through their teeth. That particular one, the funding cuts do not affect that nonprofit at all, not even 1 red cent. Okay, so I'm going to get that one out of here. All right. Next one. All right, everybody in the side chat, give me a 1 if you'd like to go out to bars. Give me a 2 if you don't care. Yes, Courtney had a live this afternoon, and she was on Garden State's Gardeners quote final wrap up live for a while. She was on there with Tammy McNeil, Rebel Canners, and several other people. But so she was on Joe's live tonight 2 hours ago. All righty. So what we got? I got 2. Don't care. Lois. You're going to get all the ladies picking on you now. They're all going to gang up and decide not to watch your videos. You better apologize for that one there, Lois. All right. Here's why I asked. New California bill would allow bars to stay open until 4 a.m. And then it says, take a survey. And I tried to take the survey, and like most of the stuff, they got it locked up again because they don't like the fact, the responses they're getting to tell them, hey, you guys are full of crap. But anyways, currently bars close at 2 a.m. and this bill will allow them to stay open until 4 a.m. There was one pushed several years back when because California was such a 24/7 operation going on. Cities are running 24/7. Factories, businesses running constantly 24/7. That's when Walmart was 24/7 there all the time. A bunch of stuff was, all the fast food places were 24/7. Everything was going on. This was before the pandemic, and they almost got it passed to hey, people that are on graveyard shift or on swing, those are swing shifts, sometimes don't get off until 2 o'clock in the morning, and they would like to go to a bar and get something to drink. And they were going to try to remove the limitations on bars and leave it up to the bars how late they wanted to stay open, if they wanted to go 24/7 or not. Heck, they do in Vegas. Yeah, it'd be something like that. Of course, in California, smart enough to go, okay, we're going to stay open till 5 and we're going to close until 8. And we'll reopen at 8 a.m. Howie, Food Forest Permaculture's in the house. Oh, I missed that. All right, here's what I missed. I saw this one. I missed this one. Yeah. All righty. Next one here. Let's see here. Let me get rid of that one there. La Nina is over. Get ready for unpredictable California weather. I'm sorry, but for the last 8 months, California has had some very unpredictable weather. Every time all the weather things, the local weathermen, the national weathermen, the state weathermen, all made predictions. Mother Nature go, here, hold my beer, and did something totally different. So, yeah, get ready for unpredictable weather. If they ain't ready for unpredictable weather by now, they're screwed. Because, hey, who here has not had some unpredictable weather in the last 8 months? And I know California has had a lot, because I've been comparing mine to hers to and okay, that's a comment I got to respond to later on. I'll put that off to the side. Alicia Autism Mom just watched one of my videos and said, hey, do you leave the grow lights on all the time? For those that are wondering, no, the grow lights are on timers so that when the sun comes up, the lights come on, they go off when it goes down. And I'm working on something to change around on that if I get permission to get a power station to put in there, because then I'll have the lights running on the power station. I'll turn it to I'll be able to charge off the the power station at night during the cheap cost time, and then run the lights during the daytime without it costing 3 times as much. All right, next one. I got to go into these next several because they were ones that were sent to me, and so it's not showing the lead in. So the first one here, let me get into it. Oh, this was sent by Kaylin Strain. Headline, this is from AOL.com. Wisconsin clerk failed count almost all. Okay, let me get into that. So a municipal clerk in Wisconsin capital city has quit among investigations into how she failed to count nearly 200 absentee ballots in the November election. Let me look at this. I'm not sure if they say in this one, all right. All right. So it was the city clerk that failed to count them. The person resigned. What was it here? City clerk Maribeth Woltz, Witzel, Witzel hyphen BEHL, resigned on Monday. The mayor waited until Thursday to make the announcement because the whatever her name is, Meredith's contract granted her several days to change her mind. Yeah. The Wisconsin Elections Commission's launched an investigation. And notice how quickly they moved on this. Early January, after learning that Wiltz had failed to count 192 ballots and didn't inform the commission until December 18th, froze more than a month after the election and weeks after canvassing was completed. The ballots are not believed to affect the outcome of any race or referendum, but 4 Madison voters whose ballots went uncounted have filed claims for $175,000 each from the city and Dane County. The first step towards a lawsuit. There was another blunder for Meredith after she announced in September her office erroneously sent out up to 2,000 duplicate absentee ballots. The mayor suspended her in March and launched an internal investigation saying the move was necessary to maintain public confidence in the clerk's office, which they no longer have any anyways. Election Commission scheduled an investigation and a meeting Tuesday. Meredith made $152,300 annually. City Attorney Mike Haas has been serving as interim deputy clerk since she was suspended. The April 1st spring election appears to have gone off smoothly under his supervision. Anything else on that? Yes, more of it. Yeah. But I'm looking at it and that goes into another one. Michigan SOS receives a D grading from election integrity. I want to, yeah, okay. The other one the second one here does clarify it. Democrats were prioritized in the errors of the Yeah. Kaylin, welcome. All righty. So that was the one for Wisconsin, followed with a second one for Michigan. Both of them having screwed up local city clerks who thought, oh, these big city ones are getting away with it. I can screw the election over too. All right, next one, also from Kaylin. The Postal Service. I think we've all heard about this. Postal Service has requested the approval of the Postal Regulatory Commission for raising the price by 7.4% this summer. And the last thing I saw was supposed to happen by the end of this month, possibly, or the end of next month. The stuff's been approved. I mean, things are in the works and going through at a high rate of speed. And yes, and since this came out on Monday, things are moving forward to raise the price of forever stamps. So people, get out there, buy a bunch of the forever stamps now, because even if the price goes up, your forever stamps are still worth, still cover it no matter what you paid for it, for what's going on there. All righty. Next one here. So evidently, there's a PUFA going on at DHS with the. From Mike, I made some phone calls on this one. So the headline was DHS told her to leave the country, and the person who got told to leave the country was a U.S. born citizen who was an attorney for immigration, people seeking immigration help and legal status and stuff like that. It is sort of privatized. It is a corporation unto itself. So basically, it is privatized. It's just overseen by the government, and so there's that's part of the problem. Anyways, so what's going on is there are a bunch of notices sent out for those that were given a grace period or a buffer time to get stuff done, and this time's been dragging on and on and on. And the thing is, though, on each case, there's a contact email. Well, some of the and it's entered into the system. It's entered as contact email. Well, that contact email sometimes is not for the person trying to gain the refugee or whatever it is, or the person trying to bypass the system after they got caught, trying to under the other system where they're allowed to do this. It's their attorney, and that's what happened. So they just click, think, and all of the email contact points got the letter. No one did in there. Someone in the Homeland Security, someone who was hired by DEI, just goes and didn't do any filtering to check to make sure. She had to have something or someone put his name on the stuff on it. They had on a form that went in. That person's email was on the form, and that's what's going on. They're just the forms get taken, they get put in thing, they get scanned, and for each section gets pulled up and put into the system automatically. Then, and so if someone put that doctor's email, that physician's email as a contact point, that's why they got the letter, because they do have some sort of interaction with immigrants one way or another. And they're just trying to, I have no contact with them. All right. IRS last minute tax. IRS issue. This was from the Epic Times. IRS issues last minute tax extensions for Okay, hang on. I just spotted something else here too as well. Okay, for which state? It's a particular state, because Arkansas taxpayers now have until November 3rd to submit their taxes, or they'll be late. And that was because of all the storms and stuff that happened in Arkansas, the tornadoes, the floods that hit the state earlier this month. So that's why they got extensions until November. All right. On this, let me show you what I saw here. I'm going to share this. So this is the email from Epic Times News Alert. Down here, the next one down, what's happening? And this one says DHS to revoke protected status for more immigrants. Thousands of Afghans and Cameroonians living in the United States will have their temporary protective status revoked in the coming months. All right. Yeah. Okay, there all these ones that were, oh, you poor left leaning people. Here you go. Here's an extension till we get you through the system. Yeah. All right. This one, I didn't look into it. Almost makes me laugh at them because I know what happened the last time they tried to do it. 60,000 University of California unions say they are saying that the UC system enacted an illegal hiring freeze. That was the 3 words: illegal hiring freeze. There's nothing illegal about it. If they can't fill the positions, they don't have the money. It's not illegal. Let's go in here. Nearly. Come on. Getting a friggin'. Dang it. It's doing a friggin' BS on it here. Let's go in here and do it again. Open it up again. All right. So it's that BS Norton hardwired scan interface picked up. I've opened up several of these emails from Patch. He goes, "Oh, we got to do a scan on it." No, you don't. All right, nearly 40,000 University of California service and patient care workers, along with an additional 20,000 UC professional research workers, announced a statewide one-day strike for May 1st across the entire university school system in response to what unions are calling an illegal hiring freeze, according to 2 UC unions. The UC has denied these claims, stating they imposed a hiring freeze due to financial reasons and does not impact any existing commitments under the collective bargaining agreements. This strike is expected to impact 60,000 workers at every UC campus and medical center across the state of California. This is the 4th unfair labor practice strike at the UC system in the past 5 months. Oh, geez, sounds like the unions are trying to go, we want to be in control. Y'all, we want to be in control. Yeah. And university acknowledged that staff vacancies have tripled since the pandemic, which would also fuel an exodus of 1,000 more front-time UC employees from their jobs due to burnout, uncompetitive job quality, and chronic understaffing. Oh, yeah. I can't, Michael of Avant, the president of Local 2399 of the AFSCME union, says the UC's after the UC bought some new hospitals, it's an illegal hiring freeze and denial of certain benefits to workers in the newly acquired facilities. No, if everything's hired, if they're still being, if their pay is not being impacted, it's not illegal. They don't have to replace people that leave immediately. Not if they don't have the money. Yeah. So that's what's going on in UC. The left-wing socialist indoctrination system is ticked off that they cannot get more of their fascist colleagues in there. Let's get rid of that one. All right, we're done with the UC. And Tracy's Local Learnings is here. Hello, greetings. All right. All right, this next one has been a lot of crap being spewed about it, and Kaylin sent me this one as well, and it's the Trump administration plans to end the IRS's free tax filing program. Well, I can tell you that one thing for sure. From what I've looked into it, and for my wife being an accountant and stuff, doing the taxes for a bunch of people, says the tax-free program is not tax-free. And I looked at even the article in the Hill here, looking it up, says it still costs $140 for people who thought they were filing for free. So the tax-free filing system ain't free. It's a scam. It's a three-card Monty. All right. And the last one, and this is one I think is stupid, insensitive, it should not be released at all. So, new details, body cam released in the deaths of Gene Hackman's and his wife. So they're releasing the body cams of the officers that showed up. They're showing what they saw. There is no need for that to be released. There's no claims against it. There's nothing going on claiming they did anything wrong. Whoever's suing for this information needs to be told, go pound rocks. We're not going to release it because in respect for the deceased and their relatives, we are not going to release it, period. Stupid left-wing buttheads. I'm sorry, people like that are just need to be, I don't know. All right. Okay, I've ranted enough here. Let me drop this in here. Did I transfer those over? I think I forgot to transfer all my fun stuff over. Let me take a look, see here. Facebook memes. Oh, there's a couple of them in here that are good still. I got 3 new ones in here. And here's Mark.
Hello.
Hello.
And if my buddy Richard's watching and still hasn't figured out how to comment yet, hello, Richard.
And here comes Lewis. All right, you ready for this first one? Time for some memes I thought were funny or were appropriate. All right, first one. I have a vertical leap of 10 feet, says the kangaroo. I can live for 150 years or more, says the tortoise. Your vanilla flavoring comes from here. My wingspan is, oh dear God.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, the last two the last two are, but make sure I got it on the right way here. Okay, here we go. So you can understand the nomenclature on the safety control of a semi-auto pew-pew. Safe means no pew. Fire means pew. Automatic means pew, pew, pew. I think it points it out pretty clear.
Is that Pepe's gun? Pepe Le Pew?
No. I think it's someone else's gun. All right, let me get this up here because this one here is. Yeah, there we go. People that own nothing and can't afford to pay back their student loans that they now I'm going to add something into it. Their student loans, which they used to party all through college with, should not be taken seriously as experts on tariffs or the economy, especially since they can't even cook their own meals. I'm adding more stuff on. Some of the ones I saw something similar to this, and someone did a reel on it, and they had about 4 of the people chiming in on it. Oh, they were all just ripping on these current students and recently graduated students with doctorate in how to walk a duck. trying to say, "Oh, I've been to college. I got a 4-year degree. I know how to fix this." You can't even pay back your student loan.
I like
And
that. The libs, the one that the bunch of libs going, "We're going to start a revolution," and 3 old guys going, "You couldn't even start a lawnmower.
You can't even tie your shoe.
Yeah.
That's why you got Velcro on your shoes. You can't even tie them.
Or open a can of tuna fish with a can opener."
Yeah. I like the one lady. She's an older Gen X, almost a boomer. In fact, I'm not sure she's not a boomer, just pretending to be a Gen X.
That would be me. I'm literally like months away from boomer status.
And she's in there, and she goes, "All this one's starting about they're going to start a revolution. No problem. We'll just start writing in cursive."
Yeah. The keys are in the car. The engine's running. I left the directions on how to run a clutch in cursive. Good luck.
Yeah, I've seen stuff. This guy goes one reel. The guy was going to buy this thing. He's walking around the car. He's got the thing. He opens the door. He goes, "What the hell is this? Why are there 1, 2, 3? Why are there 4 pedals on the floor and a button?" There's like I think it was a '68 Mustang.
Well,
so
3 pedals and a button, but yeah.
No, 4.
Why were there 4? I don't remember 4.
I remember 4 very vividly.
Clutch, brake, gas, but
accelerator,
brake,
clutch, brake, parking brake, high beam, low beam button.
Oh, parking brake. Sorry, forgot about that pedal. Yes. 4 pedals. Mine had the oh crap handle in the middle.
Yeah. I barely remember that high beam, low beam button on the floor.
Oh yeah.
My older brother had bought a car, and I'm not sure what happened, but my grandmother wound up taking over the payments on it for the last couple of years, and I got to use it, and it was I'm trying to remember. I think it was a 77 Chevy, begins with an M, whatever it is, little putt thing, and it still had a high beam, low beam on the floor.
Yeah, that's how you mess a lot of the new kids up. It's like you accidentally leave the high beams on. They're driving around with their high beams all day, going, "I don't know how to turn them off," as they're yanking on the turn signal. How come it doesn't turn the high beams up? Because it's only a turn signal.
Hey, Prepper 101.
Raccoon marshmallow. Sorry, I love that. Hello, raccoon.
There was another funny reel. The guy had a 3/4 ton. No, it was a 1 ton, because it was a C3500 1 ton. It was like 25, 30 years old. Only had 125,000 miles on it. Hardly drove it at all. And he had his other car. When he needed to go get lumber for a project, go pick plants up for his wife at the nursery, stuff like that. When they needed to move stuff that they couldn't handle in their more economical, smaller cars. And he put it up for sale. And I wish I'd saved the meme on it. It was just so funny. And all these kids that saw the price, and the price was, relatively low because of the age of it. Even though the mileage was really low, if I could get hold of that thing, I would have easily paid twice as much for it if it was a true mileage on it.
You know what I hate about?
He goes in there and he shows the video of it. The car walks around. It's perfect. Opens the door up and goes in there and shows the pedals on the floor. 4 pedals on a button. Goes over to where the stick shift is on the floor.
It's got 2 stick shifts.
No. had a 5-speed with the air button splitter on it. And then down on the floor, he had the low-high range transfer.
Yeah, the 4-wheel drive shifter. Yeah. So I said two stick shifts and 4 pedals and a button.
and an air button for splitting gears.
And nobody wanted it.
You know the one thing I hate about standard pickup trucks? My boss has got a 6-speed 5500 Ram, and the first gear you can only do like 5 or 10 kilometers an hour.
You don't start out in that unless you're on a hill or fully loaded.
Yeah, you start second.
And but the older trucks were 5-speed. And they did that, and you could only do like 5 kilometers an hour in them.
Hey, I had a Dodge 1965 1-ton. It was a 300 power wagon with a 4-speed. You never started out in first gear. You always started out in second. So basically, it was like a 3-speed. 3 on the tree, but it was a 4-shifter. So you never started out in first unless you were towing something, you were going uphill, or you had it under heavy load, because you just start out in second gear and go.
Yeah. If my buddy Richard's listening, that's what his Bronco was. First gear was low. The fun part is you put it in first gear, you drop it in 4-wheel low, you could dump the clutch and get out and sit there and have lunch while the thing barely moved. But it was running at 1,400 RPMs going, you could, no.
Yeah, well, that's like, all right, my dad was going to get a 3-speed Brownie for me. Then he got sick, and, his cancer came up, flared up. He was going to get a 3-speed Brownie for me, and the guy I bought the truck from, George Duke, who was always around our house from the time I was a little squirt, was going to help my dad and me put it in. So it would have a direct high and low range on it, plus the high-low 4-wheel 2-wheel drive on the floor and the 4-speed shifter on it. They had calculated it out at Redline. Everything in low.
Yeah.
Everything in low, 1.5 miles an hour.
Yeah. It ain't moving, but that house is coming with me.
Yeah.
Period. We had a weapons carrier in Boy Scout camp. Same thing. And it was military. It was donated to the Boy Scout camp. And yeah, we were pulling a triple axle trailer. It was a short bed weapons carrier. That's what they called it. Triple axle trailer. The trailer itself must have weighed like 4 tons. We had all the tent platforms, all the cots, everything strapped down to this thing. It took us 2 hours to go a mile, but it went up every hill. You literally just take your foot off the clutch. You didn't even have to give it gas. You just let it go, and it would just idle up everywhere, barely even stuttered or stumbled. It would just go. It would push a tree over. You couldn't stall it.
Yeah. Those old things, and thing is, kids nowadays would not know how to drive it. Well, my son would know how to drive it. He learned how to drive the Scout truck. Because it had a 4-speed with a high-low range on it for the 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, people like me I may not know how to drive it right away. Give me about 15 minutes of messing around with it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're going to take over the world.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're going to take over the Starbucks is about all you're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I did post a video today on exercising video. It's a short. It's 18 seconds long. It's number 3 grandson on the treadmill, and he cranked it up to 32 speed time lapse, and he so 18 seconds for 10 minutes of running, and he had that sucker cranked up, higher than I normally like him to do. He goes, I can do it. I can do it. I'm watching. He starts just, and he leans on one side, leans on the other side, and he's having fun. Also, he starts skipping and stuff. You can't hardly tell he's skipping because there's such time lapse on it. And it's, and of course, I went through, made sure everything was set on it, loaded it. Guess what the stupid AI did? No comments. I had to go in there. Yes, comments.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it to try to change it back to no comments again. Because it said not made for kids. It's not made for kids. It's made for parents and grandparents, specifically grandparents, to look at and laugh. It's not looking for other kids to look at.
So did you get the generator hooked up to it yet?
No, this is just to get them to work out their hyperactivity from the sugar spike of eating bread.
Okay. I was going to ask you, what's a gruck? I never drew a gruck. I know, she corrected it.
Yeah.
And I look at my keyboard, I'm like, okay, G is right below T. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I do that with my sister all the time. She types stuff, and I look down at the keyboard. I'm like, oh, that's what she meant. Okay. Fat fingers on a cell phone. Yeah.
Yeah. There has got to be a keyboard. In fact, I'm positive there's a keyboard on Amazon that's for cell phones. So you can just plug it in and set and it'll stand. So your cell phone sits in a stand right there, and you can just.
I got one for the iPad. It's Bluetooth. You can get a Bluetooth keyboard.
Oh, you mean Bluetooth too? Yeah, okay, that too.
That's what it is. I mean, you can't really plug it in, but it's Bluetooth.
No, there's one
your keyboard for your iPad and a stand. You're good.
There's one I saw that has the keyboard. It's a little bit smaller keyboard, about like that.
Yeah, I got one.
And it comes with a cable,
right?
And it comes with a standard USB on it. It comes with an adapter to USB-C,
right?
So you can plug it into the others and stuff. And I think it even comes with the adapter for the iPhone, which is a different friggin'
that's
animal.
You probably have to download an app.
She's on her Kindle. Yeah, it'll work on the Kindle too.
Yeah, you probably have to download an app on your iPhone to make it work, because you can't just plug things into an iPhone and expect it to work, except it's either a charger or plugged into your computer or plugged into your headphones. Yeah. Maybe a pen or whatever else Apple makes.
Woo! Woo! Yours is a new member. All right, new members, let's go ahead and give him a emoji salute here. Oh. Boom! There we go.
I can't see it. Whatever it is, I can't see it on a StreamYard. Just comes up with all kinds of little
all little things there.
Yeah, GMP, Grayman Prepping, SHTF, Survive. Yeah.
Hang on. I'll let you see what it is. Maybe here, if I can get it there.
Oh yeah, all your memes. Yeah, or all your yeah.
Yeah, all those. Now if you get the camera aimed at. Oh, I got the camera aimed right. Yay.
Kalen says to gank you.
To gank you.
You're welcome.
You're Qualcomm.
Yeah.
Got to be a Q instead of W.
You're Qualcomm. What?
Oh, man. Yeah. I tell you, I almost got myself in trouble. Back before I bought, I got, my wife said I could get the Murano and stuff. I was looking at some other ones. There was one that I was looking at, and Curtis had done some work on. He goes, "Yeah, that thing's cherry. I don't know why they're selling it that cheap."
Got to be a reason.
And it was a four-wheel drive. Expedition Excursion. Which one's bigger?
Excursion.
Excursion's the bigger one. It was the
that's
excursion.
the Super Duty with a big body on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the 1 ton frame with the expedition body on it. Yeah, so it was an excursion. Low mileage. No, it had a gas engine in it.
That's probably why.
It had the V10 engine in it.
Yeah,
that was a good engine.
Sure, it's a gas sucking pig, but it's a good engine.
But and it was a mechanical fuel injector on it.
No such thing. Okay, then it was an add-on aftermarket thing.
Aftermarket add-on. In other words, it was a doomsday vehicle.
Sure. I wouldn't want it because nobody can work on it unless you know how to work on it.
Well, I know Curtis knows how to work on it, and he can teach me how to work on it. But yeah, I mean, it was like, I think it was like $4,900.
Yeah, something's wrong with that picture.
A little bit of salt rust, but
yeah, and the frame was probably half rotted out. And
no, he said other than the wheel wells, he goes, it was in good condition. He doesn't know why. I think it was a divorce. He kind of hinted at it. He didn't say it, but that would have been, I almost got in trouble.
Yeah.
Where would that come from? Like northern America or Canada?
No, Idaho. Yeah. Here in Idaho.
It was local.
Yeah. It was Rigby, the town north of Idaho Falls.
Yeah, because I know a lot of our cars up here in Canada get a lot of in the wheel wells and the underframe from the salt and calcium on the road.
Yeah, they even have that problem in California in the Sierras. Truckee, just begins with Auburn and a bunch of the other places. They get salted up there all the time. So, just one of those fun things, going on. But yeah, it's just like there's just so much when it comes to vehicles. I mean, it's just I want to find out on my Murano if I can take it somewhere to get the internet, whatever it has on it for internet, deactivated. I don't want the GPS on it. I don't want the other crap on it because I've gotten 2 downloads now. When I start at the leave, it won't give me any of the other things on it. It says I got to turn it off and restart it to reboot it and stuff for the download. It's like, screw that. I don't need to see all that crap. I didn't have any of that crap on a regular car when I drove it.
Oh, my buddy spent an outrageous amount, like close to $100,000 on this. I can't remember what kind of a pickup truck it was, but you know how you back up and you got the rear view camera?
Yeah.
It's got these sensor things, camera things all the way around it. And he can look where you would look to when you're backing up for the rear view camera. Yeah. And you see a picture from like up above. You can see.
Oh, yeah.
That's what mine has on it. It came with it stock on it.
Yeah, you can. If you're backing up a trailer, it can show you what's behind the trailer. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, yours.
Hey.
Look, Venerable Owl just came into the chat.
What's up, Diorsy?
Hey, Chef Zach.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's wrong with using your rear view mirrors and stuff like that?
Oh, okay.
Diorsey's driving. He's got his signals on right now.
Yeah.
Chevy Suburban for $3,500.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about exactly.
We're talking about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, like I heard something about picking up a Ford Excursion for $4,900, and they had a mechanical fuel injector, but that's all I got.
Yeah, aftermarket one. It was ridiculous. It was $4,900. I think it was a 2000. I think it was a 2012 or something like that. Older than what my wife wanted to get, but she would have gotten mad. It's like this one here.
I thought they stopped making Ford Excursions in like 2005, 2006.
Maybe that's what it was. I'm not sure. Oh, it's the last year of the Excursion.
Now I was going to say, I have seen people like I said, use this aftermarket thing. But I have seen people graft the newer Ford F-250s, newer Ford F-350 front fascias on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's a 2003 Suburban, 260,000 miles on it for $3,500.
Yeah, it's probably worth every penny of it.
Yeah. Or you can get the 1995 with only 220,000 on it of the Tahoe for $39,000.
Yeah. You can keep that one too.
Yeah.
If I had to pick between Tahoe or Suburban, I'd go with the Suburban. I mean, they're both going to be gas guzzlers. In fact, they're probably both going to get equivalent gas mileage. So if you're going to be getting equivalent gas mileage, you might as well have the bigger vehicle to show for it.
Yeah. Here's I'm looking at here. Okay, so we got a 2016 Cadillac Escalade, a 2018 Cadillac Escalade, and a 2019 GMC Yukon. They look almost identical all the way across, all three of them. Mileage is almost the same. So the 2016 is priced exactly the same as the 2018, and the 2016 has 2,000 more miles on it, and the 2019 is $4,000 less, and it's got 1,000. Its mileage is right in between the two.
Don't forget the Lincoln Navigator.
They don't have that here, but I'm still looking.
Vehicles until the airbags go or something electronic goes in, you're gutting the entire vehicle to find the problem.
Yeah. Here's one.
All I know about Cadillacs is I know they can be a bit of a nightmare because of they tend to usually have some sort of gremlins with the electronics in them. I'm just gonna say, if I'm gonna go with the GMC or a Cadillac, I'd rather just go with the GMC with the Denali trim.
Okay, here we go. I got some. All right, so a 2011 Jeep Wrangler for $12,500, a 1997 Jeep Cherokee for $3,500, and then a 1976 CJ5. Guess what it's worth?
$12,000.
$18,500.
That was close.
Jeez.
And
that's because it was probably fully restored, redone, and runs great. New motor, new trans.
That's what it looks like.
New kit, everything on it. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's
must sell getting divorced.
That's this one here in the red here. Yeah, the Renegade. Yeah.
Yeah, big wheels, big tires, axle suspensions, no lift kit.
Chrome bumper, chrome step thing on it.
Yeah, soft top, no hard top. Yep.
Yeah.
That's not even a soft top. That's a tarp with bungee cords.
Yep. That thing I noticed, the Jeeps and the Fords and the Dodges that are older than 1990, the price starts going up on them.
That's because usually by then they've either restored it or it's a rust bucket that has high value.
Yeah.
Everybody wants one.
I can't remember which 90s pickup truck from the Ford F-150, but the motor used to be a tractor motor.
Tractor motor? The inline six? 4.9 inline.
Yeah, it was a 4.9 F-150. I can't remember which year it was. I know it was from the 90s because I had it.
They put that motor in every F-150 from had to be the early 70s up into the 90s before they finally said, no, those things would run forever. They got crappy gas mileage, had decent torque, no top speed, but they were great work trucks. You get them mostly in two-wheel drive. You can get them in four-wheel drive back then, but they didn't do much in four-wheel drive.
Yeah, I had one, and Buddy was going to sell it to the scrapyard, but it was still in I don't want to say good. It was rust bucket, but the motor was great. Like my feet went through the floorboard, the rear gas tank leaked, the front gas tank you couldn't fill up half full, and the box because the guy had it for a property maintenance truck. And he drove the tractors up into the box of the truck. It was rusted out. So I was cutting down trees. I pretty much destroyed the box on it. Nice. How it was moving together is beyond me. The back leaf springs broke and it was welded. The rad went and I put an SUV rad in it. The alternator was gone on it. It was still running.
Yeah, those motors, all you had to do was change the spark plugs about every 30, 40,000, change the oil, and about every 300,000 miles, you had to put a new set of timing gears in it. It wasn't even a chain, they were gears. And the original ones were phenolic, so they would eventually chip off. You just slap a new set of gears in there, you're good for another 300,000 miles. As long as the body held together and the frame didn't fall apart.
Yeah.
I couldn't peel the tires out on asphalt on it, but in a farmer's field, I could put a 30-foot strip of burning tires in the grass.
Yeah, one strip or two, probably one.
Oh yeah, Brian. I just know one side was like gunked up in mud. If I did it.
Yeah, always the right side.
Okay, here's one. A 1971 Toyota Land Cruiser, back when they were good. The 6-cylinder version. Odometer says 75,400. $15,000, and this thing's been rebuilt.
Of course.
I mean,
yep. That was Toyota's answer to the Jeep. Yep.
And it's got the side facing seats in the back. Yeah. Not bad.
I think
my wife would kill me.
Those things had a 4-cylinder in them too, didn't they?
Yes, they had a 4 or a 6. This is the 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
Now, if you're an international scout person, here's a 1978 one. There's been some work, quite a bit of work done it, and they showed the windshield thing they replaced on it, so it's got a new one in it.
What was the bigger version of the Scout called? Because there's a bigger version they had that was 4 doors.
Yeah, this is the Scout 2. So it's the regular Scout, I guess, was the 4-door. The Scout 2 is the smaller version.
Yeah, that was their answer to like the Bronco.
Yeah. Hey, Mother's Garden Club.
Yeah, the International Scout was the early version of the Chevy Vega. They rusted in the showroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't Chrysler, for a while there, didn't they have issues with their cars coming with rust straight, like fresh from the factory?
Chrysler? I know everybody had paint problems from 3M paint back in the day where your entire hood would just peel off because of the primer they were using.
Yeah.
Some kind of metal the electroplating first, and then the primer, and then the paint. My mom had it in her Bronco, or 78 or 94 Bronco.
It was water. It was water base, not water base, but it was a latex based paint instead of oil base.
Yeah, my mom was driving her Bronco down the road, and she thought she forgot to latch the hood. The whole hood paint peeled off in one sheet. She actually stopped the truck, got out, rolled it up, threw it in the back, and drove right to the dealership. They said, "Yeah, there's a recall on the paint job. We got an appointment in 3 months. We're going to repaint your whole truck." And they did. They stripped it all back down to bare metal, reprimed it, repainted it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know Chevrolet, GMC, they had issues with paint peeling off on their 80s model, like the early 80s model trucks.
Yeah, then in the 90s, all the clear coat would start to like pimple and dimple and fade. And that's what happened. That's what happened. My 88, the GMT 400 pickup. That's what started happening on the hood. What started happening on the roof. Clear coat started peeling off. My 95 Taurus did the same thing. The clear coat was like peeling, so I went at it with 400 grit random orbit sander, sanded the hood down, got a can of I forget who made it. It was basically lacquer, and I just sprayed lacquer on it. That thing looked great for like 2 years. Then I had to just do it again, and it looked like a brand new paint job every time I did it.
Okay,
what do you having a heart attack over, Gil?
All right, 1966 Ford Bronco, and it says modified restoration.
I'll bet.
Okay, $57,000 in Oregon.
Yep. My dad had a 68. That thing pushed a snowplow. He would swap motors out, and
I see what the modification is. They diamond plated the wheel wells.
Yeah, that's a 302 in there, or 289, one or the other.
Yeah, they diamond plated a lot of crap in it.
You gotta cover the rust up somehow.
Wait. All right. 1955 Chevy Suburban.
Ooh.
27,000. That's down in Milpitas, south of San Francisco. 6-cylinder, 4-speed.
I'm partial to the old square bodies from 1973 to like 1987. Well, I guess for the Suburbs, it would have been until like 1991.
Yeah. This reminds me of my dad's panel truck. It was like a Suburban, but everything, all the windows and everything in the back was all solid.
Mm-hmm. The Gravedigger was an old panel truck. I think it was a Ford panel truck. Well, at least the first one. And I think the rest of them were all Chevys.
Crap. The rear window on here looks like it's a Nomad window.
Slides open?
Slides open on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 Nomad windows on it.
That's a true family truckster right there.
Yeah.
Probably seated 12.
Dang. 20. Yeah. Dang. Yeah. Needs a new bumper on the back, but hey.
And everybody in the back had to get in through the front door.
Or they opened up the back. You climbed over the back seat to get in.
Yeah, I don't think the commuters are going to like that too much. They probably all got in their suits and ties, funneled in through the passenger door while the driver sat there waiting for them to get their butts in the truck. Come on, we're going to work. Give me 55 cents for fuel for this week.
All right, here's a 68 Bronco for only $40,000.
Oh, is that all?
Oh, only 40,000. Oh, okay.
Yeah, only 3-speed, 289. I mean, Warren brand lugs on it.
Is that the 4-wheel lock system on it?
Yeah, that's the front hubs to lock it. My
you don't see that
had that on there.
Yeah, you don't see that anymore on vehicles.
Yeah.
Oh, you can put manual front hubs on pretty much any 4-wheel drive. Warren makes it for everything. Get rid of the automatic crap. You just have to get your sorry butt out of the truck in the snow and lock them in.
Yeah.
There'd be worse things.
Yeah, I remember my mom had a Ford Bronco. It was an older one. She cursed getting out of the truck to turn those knobs on the front tires.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And when they're half frozen and you don't have gloves on, yeah, you're out there fighting it for about 20 minutes while your hands get frostbite.
Camelot.
Yeah, and you break the plastic. I know, been there, done that.
Yeah. I just realized I got two grandkids in the room there, in the front room. It sounds like they decided to turn the TV off and go to bed.
Yeah, where though? They going to bed in your house or mom's house?
My house. They're spending the night, 2 of them. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, old cars and stuff like this. Man, I remember my dad had I can't remember the year. It was a Ford Ranchero, and the 4-speed transmission went out on it, and he got another one, and he and I were underneath that thing, putting it in, and he tried teaching me new words, but I already knew them from school. And a year and a half later, that used transmission went out, and we got another one. I mean, he was getting transmissions for like $100 a pop.
Oh,
yeah. Fun fact about some of the old Rancheros, because I know when I first started working at Ford, my boss had one. I did the alignments and stuff on it. He took us for a ride. Fun fact: the tailgate on the Ranchero was a Fairlane tailgate. Still had the glass in it. They just put a cap on it.
huh.
I'm like, why is this thing so heavy? It's like there's glass in there. They took the crank handle off and just put a plate on there. They took the molding off where the glass came up through and just put a chrome plate on there. So it still had the glass. It's like, because that's what they did back then. You know, every car that you bought had all the electrical plugins for any accessory for any model. It was just a matter of whether you ordered that accessory or not.
Yeah.
Now, oh no, one wiring harness only fits like 10 vehicles out there, and it's like special order for like $7,000 because, you know,
yeah,
each one is for
special.
each vehicle.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I forgot. I gotta get the link for.
Well, nowadays you pay a subscription to have a perfect heated seat.
Yeah. Like, why is my seat working? Oh, your annual subscription, your card got declined because you got a new credit card. Wait till they start shutting your vehicle off while you're driving down the road because you missed 2 payments. Or it automatically drives itself back to the dealership and locks itself in a cage.
Yeah. That's why I keep on looking at these older things. I want something that, you know, I would like to get a mid-60s Suburban, and it came with a diesel in it. One of the old mechanical injector diesels on it, with the bell housing that had 2 starter ports on it, one for the electric.
Like an old GM J-Blocks series, like Detroit.
Yeah, so you can put the air starter on one side and the electric on the other.
Yep. And then you get the air compressor on it, and you install the air tanks along the frame.
Yep, and an extra battery, because you know after 3 starts, you're going to drive that one battery absolutely stone dead if it doesn't start.
Yeah. Oh, and those older ones, you went to what you used for a starter fluid for them? WD-40.
we used to use silicone spray for diesels.
Yeah.
It wasn't as combustible as ether, and it would run. We could run a diesel on it was like a silicone lubricant spray. Yeah, you could spray that right in the intake to get it. We used to do that to get them in the shop if they wouldn't start. You'd lay under the hood and sit there and just give it a little shot while the guy drives it in the shop.
Yeah, we did that with when I worked them out in Cascade. The Chevy 3/4 1-ton trucks they had. This is back in 86, 87. Some were a little bit older, some were new. Even the entire time I was there, they had a problem with it. All the trucks had a couple extra cans of WD-40 in it to start them. You're having problems, you go around, give it a spray for about 5 seconds, go start it up, run back out and get it warmed up enough to run on its own. That's when WD-40 had propane as the
propellant.
Yeah, propane is the propellant.
Yeah, whatever happened to propane injection on diesels for that boost?
Don't know. Yeah.
Hey, viewers, where are you right now? Somewhere middle of nowhere, Texas?
Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Like I said, I know I'm like north of like Odessa, Midlands right now. Like I said, I'm way south of Lubbock. I'm south of Tahoka. Like I said, probably gonna be coming into it's either Odessa or Midlands pretty soon here.
Well, I got to go get these kids to bed and try to get some sleep myself. All right, everyone. We're going to wrap this up here. Let me see what's coming up here for the next next week here. All right, tomorrow on Camp Patton Family Compound, the topic is protect your homestead assets. Saturday on Survival Saturday here on Grayman Prepping is after the fuel runs out. What are your plans? Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound is tinctures and other infusions. Tuesday on Tactical Tuesday is why you need a computer in SHTF. And then we're back to the next midnight ride. Thank you guys for coming up here. Thank you, everybody in the side chat that hung on to the last here. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow a little bit earlier on Fighting on the Homestead. All right, everyone. Take care.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, later.
And we're counting down.